Okay, so yeah, I'm just jumping into it because I'm not really the best at intros. So, the last video you should watch before, if you're contemplating suicide, like from someone who's been there quite a few times. I mean, I don't know how much of this video you're really gonna watch, so I guess I'll start off pretty hard, and it's like it gets better. Like it really does. It actually gets better. And when people say that, it's like, no, it doesn't, but it does. It gets so much better. It gets so much better that you can't even believe how good it gets. Um, and like when when you want to quit the most is when you're almost there. You're almost over the hill. It's like when you're biking or you're climbing a mountain and you get to that point where you're like, "Oh my God." And your body's screaming at you. It's screaming, "Oh no, we don't have enough oxygen," and it's burning and your lungs are burning, your heart is pounding, your legs hurt. They feel like you're made out of lead. And you're like, "Oh no, I'm going to keep pushing." Like I'm right there on the cusp because if you take a break now, it's like you got to just keep going. And then like not even a couple minutes later, you're at the top. It's really right when you want to quit that you're right there on the cusp. So anyway, about suicide. So I'll tell you my story and maybe it will help you. Because I can't convince you with logic not to do it. I can only convince you with anecdotal evidence, like my experience. Because you're not going to logic your way out of this, man. It's just not, it doesn't work. It's a feeling. And so, when I was 12 to 14, um, in middle school, I got to a point where I was just like, I'm done with this. Like, my life was just, I didn't see a way out. Whether that's the truth or it's just my perception, I didn't really see a way out other than suicide. And so I got a rope in the garage and I had learned how to tie a noose and tied one. And then I was like, okay, I'm going to hang it from we have a garage door thing in the garage that would have the weight to carry me because it carries the whole garage door, which is heavy. And yeah, so, but I sat there in the garage thinking beforehand. I was like, okay, I have my two options, right? It's almost like the anima came out, the one that Socrates talks about, where there's like a voice in your head. And so the voice and I had a conversation, and it was like, okay, you have your two options, right? Kill yourself, live. If you kill yourself, what happens? And I thought through it, like, okay, I kill myself. My pain's done. I'm done. I've checked out. It's like game over, right? But then all these other people in my life, who finds my body? How does it affect my classmates in school? How does it affect my sister, who's 4 years younger than me? So she's like 8 to 10. How does it affect my mother? Her son killed himself. How does it affect my father? His son killed himself. My cousins. How does it affect, like, all of these people? How does it affect someone that I met at church or whatever? Like, just this small shit, right? Um, and I thought through it, and it's like, oh, it's gonna hurt all of these people, and the pain is gonna be multiplied. Like, I'm in a lot of pain, but I'm tough. Like, I mean, even though I feel so weak, like, I can do this. I can hold on a little bit longer. Like, what if I just persevered even if it was shit, honestly? Like, how shit can it be? Like, realistically, the question was, am I going to kill myself or am I going to wait for life to do it? And I was like, I'm going to let life do it because I'm not doing life's dirty work for it. You know, like, if you want me dead, you better kill me because I'm not killing myself. I'm sick of it. Like, I don't care how hard it gets. I don't know how I came to this realization, but I did. And my self talk, this may not work for other people, is like, David, you're a coward. If you quit, you're a coward because all these people need you. And you're committing like homicide it's just the person you're killing is yourself. Like, you are killing someone, and it's you. So like, don't give your like start loving yourself. Give yourself the love that the people around you aren't giving you, and your parents aren't giving you, and all that. Like, become love yourself, and give the people around you your best, the best you can, and like, you're going to struggle and it's going to be hard, but the person you become through this experience is worth it. And the people's life, like the person you become, or the person I became at least, through the experience of having the question, like, I want to kill myself, and then saying, you know what, I decide not to, and I'm going to be positive in life. I'm just going to live for other people, and like, show other people, because I was bullied, show other people that, like, from a very young age when I was in Tennessee, and then when I moved to Florida, I was also bullied, and then it was in Spanish, and it was just like complicated, right? Not really, because kids, but I'm gonna just show other people that they exist and that they deserve to exist, and that, like, I'm gonna listen to them. I'm gonna give them the time of day, because I wasn't given that. I wasn't given. I was like outcast in a sense, and I'm gonna be the guy that um, shows other people that he interacts with that they matter, and that they they can take up space. They can be heard, and like in conversations when people are speaking, like, and someone gets cut off, you just go back and you say, hey, what were you saying? Just little things like that. I want to be that. Like, I don't know if this is like in the same vein, because my brain does this and it like connects all this stuff that may or may not be relevant, but it's relevant for me. So I hope you can follow, and it's not just like, where did David go? But um, so like, through this process, I've run into people in life that have spoken to me and told me, hey, um, thank you so much for showing, being there for me when I was a dark hour, or like, nobody was listening to me. I didn't feel heard. I didn't even feel like I deserved to exist. And then it didn't matter, like, that you're the older brother, or like, I'll tell you this story. Fine. It'll be easy. So my first girlfriend, I was like probably 18, 19, late 18, early 19, until I was like 21 or something. Like, we dated for 3.5 years or something like that. Anyway, she had a little brother who was probably like middle school age. And when I'd go over to her house, I would hang out with him, and we'd play like GTA 5. And like, even though I went and I would hang out with her, I spent time with him, because I know what it's like. When I was young, I always thought, like, when I was like 12, I'm like, ooh, 16-year-olds are so cool, whatever. Like, oh, these older people, like, they're so cool. And then I wanted to be like the person who's like, oh, you know, you're like, you may be a kid, but like, you deserve to be hung out with, and like, I can help mentor you and like be your friend and stuff, because it's hard when you don't have that many friends. And like, I feel like a lot of people don't have a lot of friends. There's like the popular kids or whatever, but like, a lot of people aren't the popular kids. So um yeah, so I hung out with him, and then he got like into the wrong crowd, and he like OD'd on something, and then he was in a coma. And like, I don't believe in God and that stuff. Well, I don't believe in the Christian God and all that. So I went, and I know their family does. So I went and I prayed for him with all these people, and he came out of the coma. And then like a couple years later, I mean, obviously me and his sister broke up, and like all this other stuff happened, right? But then a couple years later, I got a voicemail from him, and he called me and he said, I just wanted to say thanks for like hanging out with me and, you know, spending time with me and appreciating me and that kind of stuff. Like, like showing me that I exist and like being my friend. And because, like, I don't know, I was quite a lot older than him, like 5 years or something. But like, he had a stepdad who was kind of just like, he's there, but he like, and he tried, but he didn't get it as much. I get it because I've been in that pit. Like, I've been there, bro. And, that made it worth it. It made it worth it not to kill myself. It took 5 years or whatever, however long it took me to get from the point of when I wanted to kill myself to the point of when I made the effect on someone. And it took like 7 years before I was even told. But I'll tell you that, worth it 100%. Just that. And I've had other experiences like that. That one was just one of the most memorable ones for me. Like, I've had other experiences as I've gotten older. It doesn't stop. Like, I meet people my age now. I'm 29 now, and they're still struggling with it. Like, or this is when they encounter it the first time. And, um, I've been there for them, and they've told me, like, I really appreciate it. And you can see, like, the change in demeanor. Everyone just wants to be loved. Like, give them the love they need, because that's like, it costs you nothing to make love. I mean, like, well, hey, that's a bit different, but it costs you nothing to create love and give it to the people around you and to really like listen. And I mean, it costs you your time and your intellect and your attention, but you can be the difference between somebody ending their life and somebody not. And the thing with them, like, the thing with committing suicide or like people ending their lives or whatever is it's just a tragedy because life gets better. It always does. Like, amazing things happen in life if you would just hold out. And like, you're tough enough to do it. Just one more day, man. Just one day at a time. Just keep, I mean, there were weeks, months. I mean, there were years actually. There were years where I was living one day at a time, 1 hour at a time. And it's like, yeah, it seems like, oh my God, if you looked at it and you were like, oh, I have to live like another year like this, you would probably quit. But if you look at it as, I can make it through the next hour, I can make it through the next day, I can make it through the next whatever minute, um, they stack up and you can do it. Like, if any of you guys want to talk to me, like, I'm yours because to me it's worth it. Like, send me an email, uh, or contact me on here. Like, it's, I'll sit with you as long as it needs. I'll talk to you as long as you want. Like, I don't care what's going on in my life. It's it's worth it to me, like, to sit there with you. So please, like, reach out. And if you don't want to reach out to me, like, reach out to people you care about. Like, reach out to someone that you can trust and that you can speak to, because like, you're not alone, dude. Life is fucked. Life is so hard sometimes. And I mean, I'm rambling at this point. Basically, don't quit. Thanks for being here. We need you. You're valuable. And it's worth it. It's worth it to stick around. You don't even know how amazing your life can get. You don't even know how amazing your life can get, because it's going to get amazing. So hold out just a little longer. I love you. See you guys next time.